Okay, so I had this interesting discussion with this YouTuber named Forgetful Cat, and he made a really great video, an amazing video called "343 Has Lost Its Way with Halo," and I agree with a lot of the things he had to say, like a lot of the things he said, but there was one particular opinion that he said that I really don't agree with, and I think it comes off as pretty like I don't mean to be like too rude or anything like that, but like it came off as kind of tone deaf in my opinion. He said that he doesn't like mantling or vaulting in FPS games in general, and that he has the opinion that it should be gone completely from all FPS games. To which I have to say no, that is a ridiculous statement, and I it kind of like came off as even more ridiculous to me when he used a clip of Modern Warfare 2 2023 while saying that, which is so strange to me because like I don't mean to be like an extreme like a fanboy or anything or whatever the fuck you like we called each other back then, but Modern Warfare 2 2023 actually has like really good movement system. It has really good parkour. It is the least interruptive uh like vaulting and mantling system I think I've ever seen in any FPS yet, ever. Like literally, I'm not even kidding about that. Like maybe there exists some out there that has less interrupting, but like I've never seen anything like that. So here's the thing, like in Modern Warfare 2, it do- when you aim or shoot while vaulting or mantling, it doesn't interrupt you. Like you can do both at the same time. You can even reload while vaulting. You and mantling. You can even throw your grenade while vaulting and mantling, which makes no sense by the way, because you have to arm the grenade simultaneously, right? So you literally like have some mysterious invisible hand growing out of you, like vaulting yourself over the fence while you're arming a grenade and throwing it, which makes no sense, but it doesn't matter. It's fun. It doesn't ruin the flow. It like keeps the flow going, right? And that's the thing. That's the problem with Halo. Halo doesn't have that. And like if anything, like aesthetic wise, it makes more sense for Halo to also have that, because like it's science fiction and like we're playing as Spartans, right? And I mean, why wouldn't a Spartan like Spartan is literally like what? And they like I think they're like law wise aren't they supposed to be like like 7 feet tall or something? I think, and like they should surely have like long enough legs to be able to just mantle or vault over or anything and still be able to use both hands, right? Like compared to like Call of Duty where you're basically just playing as regular soldier dude, right? And yeah, it's just but yeah, like my point, like that beside, but whatever. That's besides the point. The point that I'm trying to make here is that Forgetful's Forgetful Cat's opinion on that vaulting and mantling is bad in FPS games is wrong. Like it is blatantly wrong. I do not agree with it. I mean, he can have his opinion, but like, or maybe he's gonna change his opinion. I don't know. Like he agrees with me, and I like that. That in military simulation games, like of course it makes sense that like it's slow, it's more methodical, yada yada. It makes sense for vaulting and mantling to like break 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 your aiming thing or whatever. Which by the way is not necessarily always the case in real life. You will, I mean, in real life you also want to be still aiming if you're in a dangerous situation, right? But that's besides the point, right? Like it makes more sense because it's more encompass. It would be more encompassing in a simulation setting. But the thing is that change like it's way more simple to just change the setting in a game engine most of the time, provided of course that the provided of course that the engine's coding isn't so fragile that it's catastrophic to change the settings. But like it's in most cases it's much more simple to just change the setting in the engine to allow the player module to be able to like free aim while they're moving up a ledge. Like that is much more simple. And the reason why I'm saying that is that Forgetful Cat wanted like preface that isn't it better to just like design the map from the ground up around the fact that you don't have to mantle a vault? To which I say, I mean, yeah, it is like, I mean, you could do that, but it takes more time. Like that is the bottom line. It takes much longer. It takes a lot longer. Like, and when it takes longer, it costs more money. And let me just be real here. You and I both know that 343 Industries, Microsoft, and etc. They are currently at this state, like as a company, I'm not really talking about the people there, but like as a company, I think it's a pretty greedy company, both of them. So they would always only choose the simplest solution, right? And I'm specifically referring to Halo Infinite here in this case because like that's like the current iteration we're standing with. But yeah, you will never, unless they're working on a new Halo game, you will never see them ever at any point, rework all the maps again just to appeal to that. Like it really came off as like a little bit of a tone deaf opinion. Like I gotta say, now no disrespect to you or anything like that, but like I just don't agree with it. It makes no sense. And also that like the thing is that I don't quite see either how it's a bad thing, because since you obviously had clips from Call of Duty, yet despite that you still had this opinion somehow, which really didn't make any sense to me. Like you were playing Call of Duty, maybe I don't know, maybe you just didn't take Call of Duty, maybe you didn't know, like maybe you hadn't had that many hours in Call of Duty, who knows? Like, or maybe you just specifically don't play as much Halo. Like I don't know. Like I mean, oh no, sorry, not Halo. Sorry, maybe you just don't play that much Call of Duty. Maybe you are more of a Halo purist, which is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But like I just have to be like completely straight honest. Like it just makes like the opinion of like not liking vaulting in FPS games. It makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense to me at all. Like, I don't think it's ever gonna go either. Like, I mean, you can wish for it to be disappear, but I don't think it will, and I don't think it should either. Like, I actually don't think it should. I think the way forward is instead to just have it not interrupt, like shooting and aiming and like and your access to your equipment and so on forth. Basically, what I'm saying is that it should just be like Call of Duty. Like it's so strange to say, and I not like it's really funny to think that like we're really like in 2023 we're back to like Halo versus Call of Duty discussions, right? But like this is basically what this boils down to, is that unironically we're now at the stage where Call of Duty once again has managed to grab a bigger audience than Halo. And well, ironically enough, it did so. Like Call of Duty did so. Like in a like the Call of Duty like has a system in it that makes more sense to have in Halo, and because of that, it just has more. It has more appeal than Halo, and yeah, I mean it sucks. Like I don't like it either. I wish that Halo would like not have any systems that interrupts the gun, like the flow of the combat at all. I wish it would just be keep going. Like I like to, like, it's kind of ironic, right? Because like I remember I tried a Forge map at one point that that actually had like, it was one of the Doom multiplayer maps. Like I don't remember if it was Doom Eternal map or I think it was a Doom Eternal multiplayer map, or maybe it was like the Doom 20, like the new one. I forgot which year it came out. But yeah, basically all they did was that they literally just sped up the movement speed of the Spartans and made the map, and it felt so fucking fun. Like it was really great. It was great to play on, and I don't remember, but if it like, I think it also sped off the mantling and parkouring as well. I don't quite remember. It's been a while, but I can already imagine like the first thing people would say like, oh, if you need to speed it up, then like clearly it's because you don't want it to be there, right? So you want to skip the animation entirely, right? When you could just design the map from the ground up. To which I say, well, not necessarily, because there can also be a strategic element as well to mounting and vaulting and mantling or whatever the fuck, like hanging from a ledge. There could be a strategic element to that, and if anything, I think Modern Warfare 2 has like actually proven that there is a strategic element to it, like, well, a tactical element rather, but because and there's also like the whole idea of like baiting people, right? Which like is something I have seen happen quite. It happens quite a lot in Call of Duty actually. Like if you're playing really high rank, or if you're like have your skill based matchmaking have you fucked over entirely because you just for some you were popping off of a lot. You will see some people who are like literally like they will bait you by mantling. Like literally they will let like some I've literally seen plays in Search and Destroy where like people will like they will run off an edge and then they will hang on it and then you don't follow them because you're afraid you're gonna get camped. What they really did was that they were hanging from the ledge and then they pull out a pistol and shoot you. And well, it's so strange to think about that these kind of plays are found in Call of Duty instead of Halo, right? Because something like that, honestly, like to me, like aesthetic wise, just would have made more sense to see in a Halo game. I'm not gonna lie. I really do think that that Halo can learn a lot from the movement in Call of Duty, and I think honestly that's the way forward. And it also it makes you think about like many other FPS games, like say for example Titanfall. Titanfall like really like pushed the envelope to with movement. And like what's so ironic as well is that like now I don't have any proof of this, but I actually think that one period that Call of Duty had with like all this science fiction stuff that a lot of people didn't like. I think that actually happened because Call of Duty was like I think in the grand scheme of things, there was probably somebody in the marketing department who thought to themselves that they wanted Call of Duty to like push Halo away by basically taking over the science fiction genre for a short while in the FPS space. Now, as to whether or not they succeeded, I don't know. I don't really have the answer to that. That's besides the point. But yeah, it's just a random tangent, just a random thought. But getting us back to the main point is that what I'm saying is that no, you're just wrong. Like I don't agree with you. Like I don't think mantling and vaulting should be or anything like that should be taken away from FPS games as a whole. Like I think it's asinine to think that. I think it's ridiculous, and I think that the solution is really simple. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say than that. Like I don't know, maybe you disagree. I mean, I don't, you feel free to disagree, but either way, I think we both agree that we want the best for Halo, and we would prefer if like Halo became like a really great franchise again. But that specific point, I agree with almost everything that you made in your really great video. I think and if anybody else watches this, you should check out his video. It's a really good video. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, I don't think that like mantling and vaulting is a bad thing for FPS games as a whole. I think it's a great thing. I actually think it's an amazing thing. If anything, like my personally, I myself, I can't even imagine mantling and vaulting disappearing from FPS games ever, and I don't want it to either, because like, I mean, if that disappears, then I'm never gonna see Titanfall 3. So that's one thing. Like if like I still dream of getting Titanfall 3 one day, and like if with your opinion about mantling and vaulting should disappear from FPS games, it just doesn't sit well with me when I'm sitting here also really dreaming and wishing for a Titanfall 3. But yeah, either way, I agree that Halo, does it belong in Halo? I would say no. I don't think mantling and vaulting belongs in Halo. But I will also say that I think it can have a place in Halo, but if it has a place in Halo, the bottom line is that it must be better than Call of Duty's movement. Because if it doesn't, then why would I play Halo then? Like if like then I might as well play Call of Duty instead. Or like any other game that has this movement, because right, I don't play Halo for the necessarily for just the movement. It's also like a matter of like the map design as well, and also the weapons and the aesthetic as well. Like I think the aesthetic is a big thing about Halo. Like a lot of people play Halo just because it's cool. Like the world of Halo is really fucking cool, and I think that's the vast majority of people actually. But maybe that's a discussion for another day. Like what Halo players enjoy the most about Halo. For me personally, it's the aesthetic. But I definitely do not play Halo for the movement. That is definitely not true. I would say I play Halo because I love the whole chess feeling of the guns, which I think is very reminiscent of the way people play Counter-Strike as well. Is that I remember, I think it was like with Steam, I think it was Asmongold who said that Counter-Strike is almost like the chess of esports. And in that sense, I actually put Halo pretty close to that as well. Is that Halo is also like sometimes feels like FPS chess in a sense, because at least like when it's at its purest. Of course, sometimes it gets fucked over by like really strange mechanics that I don't like, but it doesn't belong in Halo. But that's besides the point. But yeah, either way, yeah, I got nothing else to say. But I hope if you watch this Forgetful Cat, you made a great video. I liked it a lot. But the next time you make an analysis video, I don't think it's so good for you to make such a broad statement like that that you did right there. So there's some feedback for the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing another big analysis video from you, if you ever make one. And yeah, maybe I'll even make a reaction video. Who knows? But yeah, like keep you posted. Anyways.